Welcome to Helping Hands with your hosts, John Neiman and Judy Ritchie.
Hello and welcome to Helping Hands. This is our opportunity to let you in the community know how you can lend a helping hand to a program or an agency in need. I'm Judy Ritchie with Oshkosh Family Meals on Wheels.
And I'm John Neiman with Aurora Medical Center. And welcome to our March edition of Helping Hands. The marvelous month of March. March, which means for us, hopefully, cross your fingers, spring. March is Easter, a time of renewal. Wonderful. So we're glad that you could join us for our March edition of Helping Hands. Where can you see us? Where can you hear us? You can see us on CATV2. You can listen to us on the radio at 101.9 FM. You also can go to the Oshkosh Community Media website, and you can get all the times for all the wonderful programs that they do show on CATV2. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Aurora Healthcare, which does sponsor our show and makes it possible for us to come into your homes and your radios. I just had a person the other day who said, "John, did I hear you on the radio?" And then I had to think, and I thought, it's great. The media social coverage that we get for this is wonderful. Also, our decor sponsor is Harnix on 9th. They've had tulips for a while, fresh tulips in there, which just makes everybody forget about the snow and the snowstorms and all of that and think spring. So that's what we're trying to think of right now. Judy, would you like to introduce our guest? Because I really don't know who it is.
I don't know either. We've seen her around for a few years, and I think she's hung around the studio in the past. So anyway, this is someone we've actually, as I've said, we've known for a long time. She's been active in the community and has a new position. But this is Connie Carmichael. We've known her with another alias in the past, but she is now the community marketing manager for Right at Home in-home care and assistance. It's one of the newer home care agencies in the community. So Connie, welcome.
I missed you guys. I haven't seen you in a while.
Well, we're glad to have you, and you stayed so active in the community with all the volunteering and events that you did. But this is a different venture for you.
It is. I just started it last year, at the end of last year, and I just am very surprised at how many people need in-home care and assistance, and they do not realize that it's out there. And there's so many great in-home assistance agencies in town here, and there's so much that people need to know instead of going into nursing homes if they don't want to go in there.
But our emphasis today is on volunteers. So
absolutely.
You've got a different tweak on the in-home for the individuals that you're serving.
Right.
So when we talk about volunteer opportunities, what types of things are you looking for?
Well, we are looking for office help. We get numerous calls every day of people who need some caregiving, and we would love to have some people to be working in our office, answering the phones, doing some of our office duties, as well as going out there with our caregivers and our CNAs. There's so many people that are just lonely and they need a caregiver. I mean, like you do with Meals on Wheels. I mean, they love it when you come there to their door and spend some time with them and give them a meal. Sometimes people just want you to come and read the newspaper and just spend an hour, play some cards or some checkers, you know, things like that. Just kind of check on them. A lot of times people need help with their groceries. You were talking about your last month's segment, like shoveling snow and things like that. Well, soon it's going to be time to cut the grass. So, you know, there's all kinds of things that volunteers can help with.
And surprisingly enough, which I found out through the years, there are lots and lots of people who love office projects, who love to do newsletters or mailings. This would be an opportunity for you to utilize volunteers in a way for your agency.
Absolutely. And then when we host some different events, like with the senior center, we're going to be hosting their bingos, their lunches, and things like that. And we would love to have volunteers help us with that, as well as the veterans groups, all the different veterans groups in the area. We are going to be doing all kinds of things to help with them and help with their volunteer needs as well.
Mm-hmm. And what type of screening do you do of your volunteers? What are the requirements?
If they're going to help with driving, then of course they have to have a valid driver's license, proof of insurance, as well as we do a background check on everyone, no matter if they're volunteer or employee. We always do a background check on everyone because we want to be able to trust these people that are going to all of the houses and checking in on people.
So, is this part of your job description, is working with the volunteers, or is there someone else that's going to?
No, I will also be working with the volunteers, and then they can kind of help with all the marketing, getting out into the public, things like that as well.
So something else for you
I love
to
it.
do besides, because the marketing here, when you were with us here,
Yeah.
the marketing was big for you, and you did that really, really well. So it's
thank
nice
you.
to have that here. I think it's nice to know that volunteers can also work in other areas, because sometimes I get volunteers who want to do office, but I don't have enough
Right.
to keep them busy. But here they'd be in a different environment, a more professional
Absolutely.
environment. So you're thinking about answering the phones,
Right.
welcoming and greeting people.
Well, yes, and then like light office duty and filing and things like that. Another great thing, especially with spring being here and everything, a lot of the clients would like to go out for a walk, but they won't, and they shouldn't go out by themselves.
Okay.
So just a little exercising and things like that. Like, hey, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm gonna meet you at your house and let's go take a walk. Let's just go take a walk and talk and just companionship.
So when you have a volunteer taking somebody out for a walk or whatever, you're doing some special training with that also, are you not?
Right, absolutely, absolutely. And we have some people that are personal trainers, and sometimes that's what they will do. They just, hey, I'm going to take my lunch hour and I'm going to go walk with this client. Just volunteer and walk with this client because they really want to get out and get moving. The doctor said that they should be doing light walking, no running, things like that. Especially people after they've had surgery and they need to slowly get back into things. They're not necessarily a senior or a person with long-term disability, but they may just have short-term time that they need help.
All those younger folks with the knee replacements.
Yes, knee replacement, hip replacement.
Yes. And when I think about this, it really is something for everyone, because you have senior friends, you have big brothers, big sisters, you have the Boys and Girls Club, you have the mentoring in the schools. But this is another opportunity for people to help out. Maybe it's someone that is their peer. Maybe they just lost their grandparent and they want that relationship. I just had a person today who said she took care of her husband for 9 years, and now there's that void. And what can she do?
Right.
This would be another avenue for them to volunteer, to get out, but they're also helping themselves heal.
Absolutely.
Through what they're going
and
through.
it may be just a few hours a week, or a few hours a month. It's just, and a lot of people just do it naturally. I mean, I'll see somebody go into the store and I'll see the lady get out of her car and it's like, she probably really shouldn't be driving, number one. Number
Yes.
two, she's not going to be able to get that cart out of that, they're always stuck.
Yes.
So I'll just say, hey, how about I walk around with you in the store here? I'll get your groceries, we'll put them in your car.
Yeah.
I probably should have followed her home, but then I don't know about that.
Well, and I'm one that when I see somebody struggling, excuse me, and walking in very slowly with their walker, I'll talk to them about, I'll just slow my walk and walk along with them and talk about their struggling getting there, and have they considered applying for the handicapped ID card for their cars so they can use the handicap parking. And more often than not, I hear there's somebody worse off than me. And I say, but the law was put there to help people like you. And, it's really important, and this is how you can go about doing it. Well, I'll think about it. Well, and I never know how that's resolved.
Right.
But sharing that kind of information is second nature for me.
Right. I had somebody the other day at the hospital, and I saw this lady. She had a cane, and she had a limp arm, and I could tell she must have just had a stroke. And I said to her, we have wheelchairs, right here. I'll be glad to take you wherever you want to go. And she said to me, no, thank you. I may be slow, but this is my therapy. And I never thought about it. I never thought about it because she had a positive.
Yeah.
Some people, when accidents or things happen to them, go the negative way. But here she had a positive attitude, and she was just happy that she could be up and walking and doing it.
And you've got a safe environment to be walking in.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
true.
As
And it's
opposed to the
indoors
sidewalk.
Yes.
Well, what I love about this show and the two of you is that that's what you're here for, is you're educating these people who may not know that these things exist, you know, whether it be volunteering with Aurora, the Meals on Wheels program, Oshkosh Family, all the things that you guys do. I mean, that's what I love about this show, is that you educate people, because people don't know. The same thing is when people get injured, even if it's temporary, they think, oh, I got to go to a nursing home. Well, no, you don't necessarily have to.
There are so many more options today, and we see it, and it's anything from a couple of hours of home care a week to something much more, to going to assisted living or going to the nursing home. But so many people can pretty much live out their life at home.
Right, right.
And it's going beyond I'm helpless, but looking at it in terms of if I accept the help, I can remain independent.
Right.
Which is good.
And what I found too is there's a lot of older adults who are taking care of their adult disabled child,
Absolutely.
and they just need a break, whether it be going out for date night or going out for the weekend or something like that. They don't realize that there's help out there, you know.
And you are a prime example of someone, and you're still a younger adult compared to some of us, but you have the adult child,
Right, right.
And you've been working on Plan B.
Yep, that's right.
Of what
Thinking ahead and
Yes.
Yep,
And see, and that is, in our world today, I still think that's the minority.
right.
Most people don't fill out their 5 wishes or their power of attorney till something happens, and you're being proactive
Right.
in what we're doing.
Well, getting back to what Judy was saying, if it wasn't for Judy probably 10 or 12 years ago, educating me, because yes, I have an adult child with minor disabilities, but disabilities nonetheless, I wouldn't have known all the things that I could have done
Yeah.
to get him up and going.
The two Judys just kept hounding her until she
That's right.
she made some
That's right.
changes.
Which
And
is
because
good.
of them, my adult child works part-time.
Which
He
is what
lives
you
on
were
his
saying.
own. I'm his legal guardian, but I thought I'll be taking care of him for the rest of my life, and then his brother will probably be taking care of him.
And to see the strides that he's
Yep.
made, to hear his progress reports, I mean, we all feel good about it
Right,
too.
right.
Sense of pride
Yeah,
there.
so it's
Well,
educating people.
Connie, as you know, as the show goes, our time is winding down. Give us a phone number, and where are you located if someone
We
wants
are
to come?
located in the Westgate Shopping Center, over across from Festival Foods.
Okay.
If they have questions, we can help seniors, we can help veterans, and we can find ways to where the money doesn't have to come out of their pocket. They can check us out on rahomecare.com, or they can give us a call at 920-651-9400.
You did that really good, because Ian's shaking his finger at me, telling me we're down to our last minute. So we're so very glad during this wonderful month of spring, where we have the energetic Connie Carmichael on our show with us today. So thank you very much for being with us. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned, and we'll be back for our second segment of our March edition of Helping Hands.
If you have expired or unused medication, don't flush it, pour it down the drain, or toss it in the trash. Safely dispose of unwanted or expired medications at the drug drop box located inside the Oshkosh Police Department. It's convenient and anonymous, safe and secure, and it's open to everyone 24/7. Drop off your prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, pet meds, and more. Keep drugs out of the reach of children and out of our water supply. Dispose of unwanted or expired medications at the drug drop box. For more information, visit the Oshkosh Police Department website at oshkoshpd.com.
Wisconsin is losing our World War II veterans. If you were a World War II veteran, or you know one who hasn't gone on an honor flight to D.C., please help us. The Wisconsin Broadcasters Association is partnering with all Wisconsin Honor Flight hubs to make sure every eligible vet remaining who served their country so selflessly gets the chance to go. It's time for them to see their memorial. It's time for their flight. To learn more or to make a donation, go to wisconsinhonorflight.org.
It's March. This is Helping Hands, and you're watching us on CTV2 or you're listening to us on 101.9 FM. Thank you for joining us. I'm John Neiman with Aurora Medical Center.
And Judy Ritchie with Oshkosh Family Meals on Wheels. And when we talk about spring, one of the harbingers of spring is the Art in the Garden Fine Art Show and Sale that's held at the Hilton Garden and sponsored by Altrusa Club and the Hilton Garden and WNAM Radio. It's a really neat experience. Obviously, I'm a volunteer with it, with being an Altrusan. We decorate the hotel, the ballroom area, the bar area, so that it looks like a big garden. And then there's all these beautiful pieces of art, be it simple pencil drawings up to very elegant stained glass pieces and everything in between. And I think we have some pictures up on the screen. We have a wonderful turnout. It's a people's choice as far as who gets the awards. We have over $2,000, I think over $3,000 in different awards that are given out during this event. It's a juried event. And for more information, it's easiest to go online at www.altrusa, that's ALTRUSA, of Oshkosh, OSHKOSH.org. You see that on the screen also.
So now, is there an entrance fee?
There is no entrance fee. It is a free admission. And we invite you to come back both Saturday and Sunday. There's not only the art on display, there are a number of artists who also are selling their items.
That was my next question, because you're giving awards. Where's the money coming from?
The money comes from various sponsors,
Okay.
and we have a few community members who also will contribute. There's one special award. It's the Bev McCarthy Award. Bev was one of our Altrusans that got the event started, and her family and others always fund that award, and so it's coveted. There you see Jana Singer. Most of us knew her as, all of a sudden I've got the brain drain, Jana Ambrose. She usually provides piano entertainment, keyboard entertainment for us. We have an artist reception on Saturday, and the turnout that we have every year just grows. And even when we have bad weather, people still come out for it.
That's why I'm thinking and there's a couple of my volunteers right there
Absolutely.
too on the film. So we are giving you the dates. It's March, but we're giving you the dates because it's early April.
It's normally the end of March, but because of Easter being at the end of March, and then the following weekend is Easter break and everything yet. So it will be Saturday, April 9th from noon till 5:30, and Sunday, April 10th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
So it'd be because we don't know what the weather is going to be like. I've had Easters where you walk into church and the sun is out, and you walk out and there's a blizzard. So you never know what the weather is going to be like in
Absolutely,
March or April.
But in April you're going to come in and it's going to be a beautiful garden, lots of flowers, lots of gorgeous art, and just something really good to do. There's a special bag raffle, and then there's also another raffle with cash prizes. So there's those opportunities there also.
So something for everyone, and to get you in the mood for getting out there in spring and doing all your spring cleanup. April is also another very busy month for not only Judy and myself, but anybody who manages or coordinates volunteers, because April also is Volunteer Recognition Month, and the week specifically is April 10th through the 16th. And that's when agencies put the emphasis on their volunteers and thanking them. And we all have different ideas on this, because I believe in thanking my volunteers, as Judy does.
I do mine all the time.
All throughout the year. This is a special opportunity to stop and thank a volunteer. So we bring this message now in March so people can make plans for it. Not only the not-for-profits, but the churches and the schools, because everyone utilizes volunteers. So we encourage you the week of April 10th through the 16th to thank a volunteer. I find personally that just stopping and thanking them is what they want. But as Judy says, chocolate never hurts.
And my volunteers get chocolate. We used to do a party, and I did the cooking. They seem to accept that. But as our volunteers have changed, the expectation of the party is not as great as my personal attention, my being there when they're picking up meals, that they can just see me and chat with me for a minute. A couple of the guys always like to pick on me too, but that
I wonder.
I've got brothers. I'm strong. I've got brothers, but the personal attention, I think, is what the volunteers want. Be it my volunteers, your volunteers. I know when I saw Judy Trout and just stopped and chatted for a minute, that I remembered what her duties were over there, and that was her day.
Yep.
I mean, she understood I was thanking her. And
because you took the time to stop and remember. And it's remembering the little things, whether it's a birthday card, get well wishes, an obituary that you read in the paper, you see it was somebody's spouse or mother or that. It's
or their friend or their neighbor.
Right, it's the personal attention. And our community is all about collaboration, and we really do collaborate well. So I have volunteers that volunteer at other agencies. So the month of April is hard to plan stuff, because the Senior Center, Evergreen, Bethel, Mercy, and myself all plan events, and we always check with each other first to make sure we're not planning it on the same night, because we want the volunteers to enjoy all of their experiences. Now, we at Aurora always do a big thing for them, a secret big event, because they like to be surprised. And last year we did a 1950s tribute, our volunteers rock and roll. And I think what they enjoyed the most is the staff from the leadership down dressed the part. The year before it was Gilligan's Island, and our theme was We'd Be Lost Without You. And I know I was not Gilligan, I was the skipper, but we had that whole theme. We turned the room into a tropical island, and it's just the littlest things is what the volunteers know, but they need to be thanked. Sometimes they'll say to you, "Oh, you don't have to thank me," but remembering them is a way of thanking them. So
Right.
I think this week is truly important.
And as we said, I do the chocolate, and I do that personal attention because I'm not in the building with my volunteers when they come to pick up meals. I'm all the way across town. So I'm not just the voice on the phone, I'm the face there, and it just really makes a difference. And I know a couple of places where I volunteer, I never go to the volunteer recognitions. I've already got something else going on. But I really like that the volunteer coordinator, the agency director, somebody knows my name and what I've done. Not that I'm looking for the pat on the back, the recognition, but they recognize that I have done something that helps forward their missions.
And I think sometimes we forget about the people, especially in our agencies, we forget the people who do volunteer. People who are on committees and boards are volunteering their time. If you go to the churches, everyone at the church is volunteering, whether you're on the church council or the ladies auxiliary or the librarian or the lunch program, you're all volunteering. And think about if that was suddenly taken away
Right.
and you couldn't volunteer, what the impact that would have on your program and on your budget.
Right. And if you're having to use paid staff for everything, and there are things that volunteers can do and get away with that staff can't. When we talk the art show, this is a service club putting it on. We are all volunteers. And I can't begin to tell you how many volunteer hours are put in just in the planning of it, let alone the implementation of it. And we're not doing it for the glory, we're doing it for the community, because the funds raised go back to the community.
And that's what I really do love about Oshkosh, Event City Oshkosh, is there are so many neat programs out there that are doing different fundraising events or different things for different groups of people in need. So really, you and Oshkosh have your pick as to what you want to do to volunteer, as little or as much time as you want. And I think if you would like more information, because Judy and I have been around the block a few times, and we do have connections with people because we collaborate a lot, give us the call, myself, John Neiman at Aurora Medical Center at 456-7013.
Or Judy Ritchie at Oshkosh Family Meals on Wheels, 651-3316.
We'll be glad to share.
Right, and we both have voicemail. We're away from our desk a lot, but leave a message. We'll get back to you. And if we don't have something right directly for you, we know other places to tell you about.
And at our meeting, our Alliance of Volunteer Agencies meeting, that just helped out so much in the past month too, of people needing those connections or saying, I didn't know that you had this program. That's how we got the Senior Friends on and the transportation, because some people have never heard of it before. So everyone has different gifts and talents, and we appreciate them all. Some people are shy or introverted, and they want to do stuff behind the scenes. Other people are great at public speaking. Use them for marketing and communications. And don't forget the one base that I think is overthought of, and that's our youth. We have great youth out there, whether they're in high school or in college, and they're great ambassadors for your program also.
And the little kids, the things that they do in art class in school or whatever, but when they're with grandma or grandpa, do some pictures and take them to Aurora or Meals on Wheels. We send them out or give them out to the people that we work with. And our seniors, our sick individuals, love getting those special touches.
Exactly. Well, here we're winding down on our time again. I just can't believe the month of March is going by so quickly also, but there's so much to do. The art fair at the Hilton, thanking volunteers during Volunteer Recognition Week, enjoying the wonderful weather, getting out, get to know your neighbors, and go out and volunteer. I'm John Neiman with Aurora Medical Center.
And Judy Ritchie with Oshkosh Family Meals on Wheels. And thank you for joining us.
Have a good day.